Hey guys, this is Beefius, and I'm back to actually give the final boss, it looks like of Act 1, a try. So I just got to the area, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. Um, I've seen the boss before, but I haven't really watched the fight, so I don't really know the abilities, but I think I'm pretty. I'm as prepared as I can be. Just quick look at my build. So I'm using Maul, Werebear build. We got Maul, Pulverized. I was using Spirit Wolves, but I replaced it with Grizzly Rage, which is like a really powerful offensive and defensive cooldown. But it also, most importantly, gives me Unstoppable. So if there's any really insane CCs, I can kind of use that to help me out of it. The only thing is that I'm worried if the boss has a lot of attacks that force me to kind of kite and get away. The only real range damage I have is Poison Creeper because I don't have the wolves. Um, but I'm still pretty confident that I should be okay. I'm quite thick. I have 787 health. I got two legendaries from the gambling vendor, so I didn't actually find them on the floor, although there was one item that I did find, but wasn't really that useful to me. This one legendary gives me more maximum spirit and spirit regeneration while my Grizzly Rage cooldown is active, which is why I swapped the wolves for the Grizzly Rage. And this one gives me unstoppable. While unstoppable, it gives me more movement speed. And the Grizzly Rage actually also gives me unstoppable as well as the trample. So this can help me out of a bind as well. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So let's give it a shot. I actually entered the area, and then the boss fight started. And but you're able to like backtrack in the last moment and get out before it locks you in. So it's an interesting thing. Anyway, here we go. Just want to see what the attacks look like. So he puts down void zones. So after I attack, I gotta move really quickly. Should not want to stand again. So my pulverizes actually power up after a bit. So what I can do is just kind of kite this guy, and then I can just keep hitting him with a couple of pulverizes, then move. Gotta really watch my potions. See, my problem right now is I'm not really building my fortified stacks. So I want to make sure I can get as much as I can build. But when I pop my Grizzly Rage, it'll just top off. I'm not too worried about that. Get out of that immediately. Okay. Not too bad. It was actually easier than I thought it was going to be, but he's going to get harder. Oh yeah. Okay. It's a safe zone, I think. So he's helping me. Okay, I got fortified now. So I'm gonna be able to be a little bit more aggressive now. Gotta watch those. My healing up. Wait for him to do the cleave. Oh, okay, this is getting harder. But I think we'll be okay. Who is this guy? I have a feeling those waves do like a crap ton of damage. So I gotta be ready for them. Watch the next wave. Watch the cleave. Watch the waves. Okay, get in here. I still haven't used a single potion or Grizzly Rage yet, so looking good for me. Got my fortified back. You can see my health bar is covered in that metal casing. That means I'm fortified, so I'm taking 10% less damage. Thank goodness. That sucked. I gotta... Okay, when he's doing that purple shit, I gotta watch out for that. Okay. We're okay. Okay, I'm gonna back off. Waiting for those... Okay, move, move, move. Just move. Wouldn't it suck if I could fall off? Okay, gotta watch out for those little purple shits. Probably have a new ability as well, so I gotta watch out for it. So I gotta be a little observant for this. Watch out. A lot of blood. Move, move. Be able to just finish this guy off, but I don't want to get careless. That's it. Got him. Hey, a ring. Hopefully it's not the same one. Calling a storm skill grants your earth skills 45% crit damage. 4 seconds. Casting an earth skill increases the critical. It's pretty interesting. These are good boots. No, but I'm wearing legendaries. Who is this guy? Dawning Father's Grace. I only had to use Grizzly Rage once, and I used it more as a defensive rather than an offensive ability. That's cool.
Vigo, who did this? I have done all that was asked. The pain is gone now. A stronger man would have refused Venard's bribe. Nerel. Nerel, is she safe?
Yes, she is safe.
Our meeting is no coincidence. I came here to help. Will you give this to her for me? I should never have taken it. It's so dark. I have repented. Do you think I was too late?
No, not too late. The light has come to carry you home. Do you not see it, friend?
Yes. Yes. I see it now. They
Is he missing an eye?
have come.
This is a pretty good end to an NPC story lead. Not too bad.
You didn't need that armor to prove your worth, friend.
It's for me. When hit while not healthy, bubbles summoned around you for 7 times. And the bubble plays immune. It can only occur once every 90 seconds. Resistance. Werebear skill damage, damage reduction. Pretty good. A lot of damage reduction. And a socket. That's pretty good. It was a pretty good boss fight. I was pretty prepared, so I mean, I had like, and the interesting thing is, let's see what this guy's saying.
You don't need to. I saw a vision of the key lifted from my corpse, under the watchful eyes of the great serpent in my sanctum. If you are chosen as you say, it will come to pass.
So with my skill build, so yeah, I got some damage reduction while in Werebear form, so a lot of passives. Bloodhowl, my entangling root, so I stopped using wolves. Trample, which is also just useful just for the unstoppable. It's a good single target as well. Then we got provocation, which I've only recently started putting points in. I can put another point in here once I get more. It's giving me more overpower, which is basically like a burst damage. So the way I'm kind of strategizing my bear is basically around cooldowns and whenever I get overpower, which is kind of a boost in my damage based on how much fortify I have. So fortify naturally gives me damage reduction when I max it out, and then the overwhelm uses the fortify to power up. I get boosts windows of damage within short periods of time. So both you get overpower from this, and then your pulverize ability overpowers every 12 seconds. So I basically I hit, then I just kind of kite for a little bit, and then when there's enough time that's passed, I go in for another hit. So it's just kind of in and out kind of a fighting, which is slow, but it's safe. The bear here, it gives me unstoppable, which is crazy good. And it also gives me basically like a full stack of fortify, which is extremely convenient in a pinch situation. Reduction in crowd control. Anyway, yeah, the point is, if I had one more level, so I'm literally almost there, about 70% there, I would be able to get another point and put it in here, the passives, the key passives, which are like the most powerful passives. You can only pick one of them. You can see how they X out all the others if you highlight one of them. So this one gives me 20% more life while I'm in bear form, and while I'm at healthy, I have 30% more damage. So that's a huge boost, huge, right? So I was able to do the boss fairly easily without that passive. So yeah, that was pretty successful, I'd say.
Quiet. Where is she?
Let's see the ending of this act. It better not be anything else. A bunch of zombies coming out of these.
Is that him? Is that Rathma?
Cutscene.
I don't know if you would have chosen to stand beside me in this new world, Rathma. But I would have saved your place, just the same. And now, all that you might have been has been stolen from me. Stolen. This key unlocks more than the doors of hell. It unlocks our path to the future. A future made possible because of the price you paid. Your sacrifice will not have been in vain.
I hope that's not the act end cutscene, because usually they're like those nice, fully rendered scenes. That'd be a little disappointing, but oh well. Pretty cool zone for the ending of the act. So I'm wondering if you can come back in here and basically farm this boss for like pretty good loot. Wait, where should I go? Quest log say. So after the necropolis of the firstborn, I must reconvene with Nerel at the Herodric Vault. Yeah, so that's pretty much, I'm done with this zone then. So I need to go down here. Yep. So overall, so my initial impressions of Diablo 4 is better than I thought, at least for the beginning. I'm enjoying the kind of Skyrim-ish freedom of not being able to follow this linear campaign. I was able to pretty much go all over the place, just collecting stuff and building myself up. So the scaling of all the zones, so that basically going through a zone, you can decide to clear the zone, or you can move into a neighboring zone and just do the quests around it, and that freedom is kind of fun, I think, but it could get old later on. But I am hearing that as you get into endgame, into more linear kind of endgame play, the scaling actually works against the game because it's like as you level up, you're basically your power ups are more dependent on getting new gear. So if you end up leveling up without getting new gear, and then your enemies level up to scale with you, it's almost like the enemies are getting more powerful, and you're getting weaker because you become more dependent on the gear as opposed to the levels. Because once I get this keystone, uh, this passive, once I get this, and then there's still like great power ups that I can pick up along the way, and then obviously there's the Paragon board that's going to be the next step. But major power ups aren't going to really be there anymore. So picking up some passives is I can do that, but that's only going to do so much for me. It's not going to be even close to this one. And I'm only level 32, right? So to get to the Paragon tree, I have to get to level 50, so that's another 18 more levels. But then there's also the legendaries, so those are also acting as power ups as well. So with the legendaries, this was the first one I got, this ring, and it's a great ring, and I got it through gambling, so it wasn't even that exciting. But my first impression, though, when getting this ring was actually disappointment. You can see in the bottom right corner how it says it's account bound. Then it kind of hit me right away that you don't have the excitement in Diablo 2 where you could possibly trade. I mean, I guess the lower level items, they're not worth that much anyway. There's some key items, uniques that people would like, but only at max level are the very important legendaries worth for trading. But and this is fine because I can give alts this gear too, and then they have another system where you can kind of pull off these special legendary enchants, and then you can enchant it onto other pieces of gear whenever you need to. But overall, the ability to not trade these legendaries, right, is me like all of a sudden like it just gives me a feeling that the end game is not going to feel as lucrative because it's that idea of finding not just a great piece of item for your characters, but it's one that somebody else needs, so that you can kind of try to hunt for pieces that you want that they might have, right? Just finding it out in the community, like, hey, I need these key pieces. It was really interesting, this idea, especially when you're going for like non-meta builds, and especially hardcore mode has a lot more non-meta builds. So the variation in the strategies is a lot cooler because in softcore you're basically all going for the same maximum output build, right? And you just kind of go head on and destroy everything. Where hardcore, the optimal builds are a lot more balanced from offense and defense, so it gives you a lot more variety. So then a lot of the uniques that you wouldn't expect are a lot more fun and interesting to use, which is what also makes hardcore fun. And then those items that you can give to other people, they hold their value a lot better against inflation because people dying holding on to the gear takes the items out of the economy. Gear retains a value a lot better in hardcore. So here, with it being account bound, it just, even as a hardcore, it doesn't feel really valuable at all, to be honest. And once I start filling all my slots and everything, like, I'm worried that once I get into the end game won't last. Right now, it's exciting and fun because all this kind of great graphics, and I've seen all the main Werebear abilities. So there's some extra legendary Werebear effects that I can kind of get my build on, but to once you get into the end game, I'm just wondering how they're going to kind of hold my interest once I've kind of seen the acts and the bosses and everything. But again, overall, I'll reserve my judgment for that. Overall, Diablo 4 has given me a very good early game impression, and I'm really loving it. And the graphics are absolutely crush Diablo 3. And I'm not even talking about, because obviously this game is, this is this is a modern game, right? Diablo 3 is quite old, but Diablo 3, this impresses me in 2023 far more than Diablo 3 did in 2012. A lot of it's because of the amazing job that the graphics create in the atmosphere. And it's the style. Like the bear here is just so epically cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing this and getting into Act 2, and then maybe I can give you guys, if I don't die in the middle of Act 2, maybe I can give you guys another boss video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later.